Welcome to the Talk podcast with ideas strategist Linda Reed-Enever. Talk is where we chat about ideas and inspiration you can use to market your business. Get ready for practical tips you can implement today with your host, Linda Reed-Enever.
Hi everyone, Linda Reed-Enever, and welcome back to the Talk podcast. Today I want to dive into a topic that as business owners, we quite often start to push aside because we feel like we've got to be something else for someone, like we've got to be something else for our clients. Our core values, knowing who we are, who we want to work with, and non-negotiable values as a business owner translate to real world impact for our clients. If everyone wanted a cookie cutter robot approach to business, to working in whatever area that you service, then we would have that out there. We would be literally producing robots that would be out there to do it. And in the world of AI, we can. But no one wants that. People want you for the way that you do things, the value behind your business, and making sure that you know how you do it. So let's run ourselves through a little exercise about defining our core values and the types of people that we want to work with. So first of all, why did you get into this business in the first place? Why are you doing what you do right now? What is it that got you in here? Are you wanting a freedom of life? Are you wanting to have more time with your people? Are you wanting to service people in a different way that maybe you weren't as an employee? Why did you get into this in the first place? Now, think about when you were working for someone else. Who were the people you didn't like working with? The didn't like working with list is just as important as the people you want to work with list. So these are the people that you're going to say no to. Even when times are tough, we're going to say no because they're not the right people and they're not the right fit for us. So write them down, describe them, possibly even give them a name and a face. And when you see one of those people pop up, you don't work with them. The next thing we want to do is we want to write about the people we do want to work with. Now, lots of people will take you through an avatar activity, say name the person, make sure that you're getting it out there, but there might be a few people that you want to work with inside this area. So maybe you might create a group of people, or you might talk about different things. For example, I work with small business owners, I work with course creators, I work with organizations on systems and procedures along the way. So I have a number of different people that we want to do, but my number one core defining goal is helping people create impact. So that's the thing. What's the number one thing that you want to do with your knowledge and your expertise or your business and how you serve things? What do you want to do? Write that down, take a moment, and you might, if you've got staff and people involved, ask them along the way about what do they think you do as a business. You might write down some notes a little bit in there. Now, the other core defining goal is what time of day do you want to work? If you're really good in the morning, work in the morning. If you're really good later at night, work late at night. But you don't have to be working 9 to 5 just because 9 to 5 is what the business is, unless you're in a shopping centre and they have some restricted hours. But this is your business. You can decide when you're going to work, what days you work, whether you work remotely, whether you have an office. All of those things can be decisions that you can make as a business owner. One of the core values or the core boundaries that I like to see in place for business owners then is allowing themselves time to work on the business. That value to work on the business rather than in the business is highly impactful. And we've spoken in the Business Owners podcast about the hats that you wear as a business owner. It might be a good one to have a listen to if you're thinking about those sorts of things right now. And then our other non-negotiables. How much family time do we want? How many leave days do we want? Making sure that we put in our public holidays and the calendars and the times. One of those moments is when I first started working in business and I started traveling again, is I had a rule that there was no more than 2 nights away from my family unless my family came with me. Now my family's a bit older now and they can do with a couple of nights away from me occasionally, and I'm sure they most probably celebrate it. But especially when my daughter was really young, it was really important that I didn't spend more than 2 nights away from home so that she was knowing that mum was still there, she hadn't abandoned, she hadn't gone away, and also it wasn't putting so much pressure on my husband with a small baby or a toddler to be able to look after that baby, even though he's more than capable of doing that. So what are your non-negotiables in relation to travel, being away, all of those sorts of things? As I grew in my speaker's career, another example of this one is I worked out who I wanted to fly with and who I did not want to fly with so that I didn't have flight delays. The types of accommodation if I was coming to speak, where did I want to stay, and then what type of experiences did I want to deliver for my clients were all things that I've learnt. Now, those defining core values grow with you as your business grows. You will grow and you will develop more services, more product offerings, and you might further define your non-negotiables and your values as a business owner throughout the journey. So your core values, your non-negotiables grow with you and your business. It's an exercise that I would put into our diary to make sure that we're following those values we have in business and then we are continuing to come back to them. Finally, how do you want to be paid? We didn't get into business to be a charity. So how do you want to be paid? Do you want to be paid in advance? Do you want to be paid on completion? Do you want part payments? Do you want payment to be automated? And make those decisions on how you want to be paid. And then the terms on how you're paid. So is it 7 days? Is it on demand? Are you putting payment plans in place? Whatever it is, define it so that you are not then at the mercy of the person in front of you asking, how are you going to be paid? So there's a few exercises and a few tips about the non-negotiables and the core values within your business. Make an impact by setting them for your business and then coming back and reviewing them once a quarter to make sure you're staying on track, you're being true to who you are and who your business wants to be. Until next time, please subscribe, share, and let me know what's a non-negotiable in your business.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Talk with Linda Reed-Enever. Make sure you subscribe via your favourite podcast app so you don't miss the next great episode. You can find more ideas and inspiration at enevergroup.com.au.